Program is designed to promote reflection. It's not an instructive program. The hope is that with reflection, people will consider their own humanity, their own strengths, and indeed their own situations. And from that will come the possibility of attitudinal and behavioural change for that person. The program can have standalone value for some of the participants. Many of the women that I've observed interfacing with the program have spoken of deep and serious personal empowerment and encouragement. However, at a broader level, I think the program really helps with people to engage with other programs that are on offer at the prison. And I make this comment again against the background of reflections by the women themselves and also by fellow educators and custodial officers at the prison. They have remarked that the women who've done the program are happier, less adversarial in their relationships with the staff and other prisoners, and indeed more engaged with their programs, be that a drug and alcohol program or a numeracy and literacy program. In the healthcare setting, any meaningful change in a person's health, well-being, long-term health and well-being invariably involves some sort of attitudinal behavioural change. So it really sets the scene for that for participants. Powerful cross-cultural tool. This is borne out by the fact that it has now been translated into 35 different languages. It's been used in recent years in 70 different countries around the world. And last year, even during the COVID lockdowns, was being actively used in correctional centres in 35 different countries. I'm sure the reason for this, Katrina, is that the peace education program focuses on the individual. All of us live within social systems, the immediate relationships around us, the community, the broader community, etc., etc. That, of course, varies for every person, but this program focuses on the individual, the person at the core of that system. It doesn't look at any of the other influences on a person. Purely, what are your strengths? What are your resources? Who are you as a human being? A chance to reflect on our own humanity. Growing evidence, there have been 3 serious studies done on the peace education program. All of them are really impact studies looking at before and after responses to either a semi-structured interview or questionnaire type questions. And all 3 of these studies, the first one done in 2014, looking at 365 participants. The second 2 were both done in 2020, one in Johannesburg, where people living in homeless shelters during the COVID pandemic were surveyed, and the last one done by a New Zealand-based researcher that looked at responses from 604 participants, all in correctional centres. All of these studies have suggested that the stated aims of helping people to reflect on their own strengths, to learn more about those strengths and to revalue those strengths, those aims were met for a large percentage of the participants. The program is provided free of charge by the Prem Rawat Foundation, and that includes all the video-based material, the handbooks and the other written material for the curriculum as designed. The Prem Rawat Foundation supports itself on donations and the work of volunteers. So anyone applying for a license to use the program will be asked for a donation, but that is entirely optional. TPRF are very keen that cost isn't a barrier to people using the program. There are 4 versions of the program, long and short versions, and there's currently under development a program specifically for use with senior school or young university students. And that program has a lot more workshop type material for people to use in an educational centre setting. So the cost is minimal. Thank you very much for your interest and attention to this little bit of information about the Peace Education Program. I'm really looking forward to being at the Correctional Healthcare Conference in Melbourne in May this year, COVID permitting, of course, and really look forward to meeting some of you there and maybe reconnecting with folk, because as previous conference participants will know, I've been there speaking about the Peace Education Program before. It is growing in value and usage, both within Australia and worldwide. So I can bring you up to date with what's going on locally and globally with the program.